Hey guys, welcome to the Master Passive Income Show. My name is Dustin Heiner, and I'm here to help you learn how to quit that JOB, that just over broke job, by investing in real estate rental properties so you never ever have to work a job again. Now, what I want to talk to you about is as we're investors, we're investing all over the country. We're not investing right where we live. There is a need to actually rehab, repair, or fix up the properties that we buy without even seeing it. Now, I own 30 plus properties, and I want to say literally only one of the properties that I've owned, I saw it before I actually bought it. And I've literally only seen two of the properties out of all the properties that I own. So I hire other people to do the work. And that's what I want to share with you today is how to actually do that, how to do it right, and how to guard against people stealing from you. I can't tell you how many times I've heard stories of people paying for a job to be done and then the contractor walking away with the money. They might think that they did the job right, or they might have actually stolen the money, but the owner is actually out money and the property's not taken care of well. I want to show you how to guard against that because there's so many pitfalls in actually having people do the work for you out of state. Now, on top of actually rehabbing the property, we got to buy the properties first and buy them right so we're making money every single month. And that's what I want to show you. I want to show you how to invest in real estate rental properties with my free real estate investing course. Or I have a fantastic way for you to actually text me. And if you text me the word rental, RENTAL, it literally comes to me. Text the word rental to 33777. Rental to 33777, and I will personally give you my free real estate investing course to get you started, showing you how to fund the properties, how to find the properties, how to manage the properties, how to have other people do the work for you, and you not do any work. And that's what I want to show you how to do. So get that free real estate investing course. It'll be in the description as well. Now, as we're getting started investing, we're going to buy a property, and more than likely, it's not going to be completely fixed up. It's going to need some work. Now, if we are going to be flipping the house, same exact thing. We got to make sure that it looks good for the person that's going to be buying the property. And if you're going to be doing this out of state, you're not physically walking the grounds. There's so many crucial things that I need to show you how to do this because I've done this so many times. Like I said, I have 30 plus properties now, and I've handled the rehab myself. I've even had my property manager. I've even hired contractors. I've done all this stuff. And so I've actually figured out how to do it the wrong way and how to do it the right way. I've ripped out all the bad things that didn't work out well, and I kept in all the good things. And that's what I want to share with you. So a couple different ways that you can actually get your property rehab. The first one, easiest one, is you are going to get your property manager to basically do all the contracting work. They're going to find all the different contractors, the handymen, the plumbers, the roofers. Your property manager is going to do all the work. They're going to manage the rehab. When you are looking for property managers, you want to make sure that you know how much they're going to charge you beforehand before they actually rehab the property. So here's a big pro tip. Some property managers might actually charge you like 10% to rehab the property. In my opinion, your pro tip is do not have a property manager actually charge you that percentage to actually rehab the property. What they're getting paid for is to actually manage the property, and they're going to be paid monthly to just manage the property. This comes with, managing the contractors, managing the handyman. That comes with the entire management fee. They're going to be charging you at least 10%, if not more, for your properties. Now, let's keep going down the process of having a property manager actually manage the property. As they're actually managing the property for you in the rehab, you always, here's a blanket everything for everything in the property, pictures. Pictures, pictures, pictures. And did I say pictures? Yes, absolutely pictures. You want your property manager giving you pictures. You want the contractor giving you pictures. You want the realtor, basically anybody that goes and looks at the property, ask them for pictures. The worst they can say is like if it's electrician that walks by and see, hey, I have a screen door that's done. Can you take a picture of that and send it to me? They might not do that, but of their own work, they absolutely must send you pictures, especially the property managers. You need to know beforehand and after. You need to see what's the problem with pictures because you need to verify that there's actually a problem. And if, again, don't have them do any work unless you actually verify there's a problem. They could steal from you if you don't do that. Trust me, I know from experience. But make sure there's a problem with pictures. When I first got started, I had a bad property manager. She turned out to be really bad. In fact, she was stealing from me. It was that bad. And so what I found out was She charged me, I think it was $1,000, like $980 to replace a main line. Number one, I didn't approve it beforehand. That's a lot of money. Number two, I don't even know that it actually got replaced. I just all of a sudden saw a $980 charge on my invoice. I didn't know what was going on. And I'm going to give you a big pro tip to bar against having this problem of somebody charging you something without having actual seeing that it's work done. What you want to do is say, okay, property manager or contractor or realtor or whoever you're working with, the maximum you can spend without my approval is $100 or $200. The people that I work with, they're really good, and so $200 is my max. Some landlords actually have like $100, or they don't really trust the property manager too well with maintenance because they begin nickel and dimed. What they do is say every single maintenance thing, you run it through me so I can verify. Because if you start getting nickel and dimed, just, death by 1,000 cuts, you just have a handyman go over there to fix one light switch. Then a handyman going over again 3 days later, fix the toilet. Then a handyman going over again 4 days later to fix, the ceiling fan. Whatever it might be, you're just going to get dinged and dinged and dinged. And so as we're managing our own properties, we're going to be able to watch out for that. So as you're going this, if you're going to be hiring a contractor, just remember you're going to be paying a little bit extra money, but they're going to be overseeing everything. You're also going to be checking for reviews for contractors, property managers, plumbers, basically anybody that you hire. A good thing is to look at reviews. Reviews on Google, reviews on Yelp. Those are two great ways to find reviews on the people that you're going to be hiring, because you don't want to hire people who, number one, don't know what they're doing, but number two, have a bad reputation. Now, here's a big pro tip I am going to give you. Never, never, never pay the contractor upfront all the money. Like, I've had some people pay the entire amount upfront to the contractor. If it's like a $3,000 job, oh yes, contractor, here's $3,000. Well, what is the incentive, unless they're really good people, which more than likely you might get some bad people out there or some people who don't follow through. What's the incentive for them to actually make sure the job gets done and gets done well? That incentive protects you and it protects them and it protects your property. So what I suggest, a big pro tip. So number one big pro tip is do not pay them all the money up front. The big pro tip is split it up in different ways. One way is half up front and then half up at the end. So half up front, half at the end is one way to do it. Now, if it's a $1,000 job, yeah, that's great. $500 up front, $500 at the end. But if it's a $4,000 or $5,000 job, half up front is still let's say $5,000 is a total. $2,500 up front is a lot of money that they can just walk away with. I'm not going to do that. As the dollar amount gets bigger, I split up into either thirds or fourths or give them draws. And the reason why is because I want to pay them for the work that they've done, the work they're prepared to do in the beginning, and let them get paid as they go. What if you want to save an extra $5,000 by managing it yourself? I know for my property, the one specifically I'm thinking about in Houston, where I had like a $30,000, I even had I think it was a $15,000 septic system that I had to put in. If I had a $15,000 septic system and hired a contractor, they would have asked for 10% on top of that. That'd be what, $1,500 just to have another company put in a septic system. I was like, why would I pay some? I could do that. I'll just be calling them on the phone and making sure to get it done. Long story short, what I did was I saved myself at least $3,000 managing it myself, because like I said, it was a $30,000 job. With that $30,000 job, I was able to save $3,000 minimum because I managed it myself. Now, when you are selecting different companies, like an electrician or a painter or something like that, what I strongly suggest is looking at their portfolio of work. Look at their portfolio for what they've done in the past, because past reputation is going to show what's going to happen in the future, most likely. If you show me that somebody has no portfolio of work, like they haven't ever painted anything, or at least they never show you what they painted in the past, I'm going to be less apt to actually hire them because I don't see what they've actually done in the past if I don't actually know what they've done. Another great tip is, on top of their portfolio, usually they have a website. You can go look at the website and see what they've done and their past experience or what their past jobs were. Another one is getting references. A reference could either be calling up a personal reference of theirs, not a personal reference, calling up a business reference, somebody that they've already done work for, and just say, hey, one or 2 minutes of your time, how was Bill? How did he go? Okay, good. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bye. Click. Super, super simple. But the references can also be Yelp and Google, those different companies that I've talked to you about already, and see what types of reviews they have, because you want to know exactly what they have done in the past So that would hopefully dictate the future. Now, as you're going through and actually managing the project yourself, you want to hold everybody to a schedule. The big question you always must ask is, what's your timeline? That's a big question. What is your timeline to get this job done? If it's 6 months from now, hey, I got to get this thing rented. No, I need 6 weeks, or I need 1 week, or whatever it might be. You need to know the time schedule that they're going to be able to put into and get done so you can actually get the property rented. Imagine or act as if you were a third party. Act as if you don't own the building. You don't own the property. You don't have a vested interest in this property. Act that way, and then you'll say, you know what? I'm working for this person. I got to get this done. Here's what I did. Here's almost like a big pro tip that helped me to get past this, because you know what? I could be patient. I could be lenient. But then I realized what's happening now is my bosses for my real estate investing business is my wife and my children. That's who they are. They're my bosses. If I'm not holding these people to the time schedule, to saving me the most money, making me the most money, my bosses are not going to be happy, because they're not going to have food to eat. We're not going to be able to pay the mortgage and all that sort of stuff. And so if you put yourself as a third party saying, I am doing this for my boss, which is my spouse and my kids, or however it plays out, if you have that perspective, it switches in your brain where you're like, no, I'm holding you accountable. I'm not going to be lenient because my bosses are not going to be lenient to me. They need to eat. You don't need to tell them this, so that your bosses are your kids and your wife or your husband, but you want to make sure that they understand that you are just a third party. You're holding them accountable, and it helps you mentally to hold their feet to the fire to get that job done. Now, on selecting different companies that you're going to be working with, there's 2 major things that I want to tell you or walk you through. Number one, if they're hard to get a hold of, if they don't call you back, if they are not actually good at communication before they have your business, imagine how bad it's going to be when they already have your business, and when they actually have your money, like you paid them up front. How hard is it going to be to work with them if that happens? So that's one thing I would say is you want to work with a company that has great communication. I will tell you. So there was one contractor who was doing a lot of work on one of my properties, a lot of work. And it was almost irritating how many updates I was getting at daily, pictures, everything, just getting update after update after update. I was getting irritated, but then I had to check myself because I realized I know so much more about my property now, even though it's like bothering me because I have to, pause my video game playing or whatever it might be to check out the text. It's so much better because I know everything about my property. As you're going through this entire process of rehabbing the property, make sure you're guarding yourself every single step of the way. Make sure that you're not going to actually have these pitfalls of paying up front and losing money because they don't do the work, or they do the work poorly. I've had so many different students actually get poor work done because they didn't follow this process. We need to follow this process. I've even fell into this, and this is how I figured it out. I've lost so much money. Now, you guys are fantastic. I really, really appreciate you to be here with the Master Passive Income Show. I hope that you subscribe. I hope that you just share this with one person and give me a thumbs up or give me a star rating. I really, really appreciate you guys to be here. You guys are fantastic. Get out there, start investing. Don't forget my free real estate investing course. Text the word rental to 33777. I want to show you how to start investing. All right, guys, you take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time.